tend to have too many unfinished projects and tasks? Would you like to be more productive and fulfilled? Are you keen to have more time for what truly matters to you? In today's episode, we'll talk about the magic of time budgets and how not having constraints will cost you greatly. Now, whenever people talk about budgets, more often than not, it's money or finance related. Now, why don't more people budget their time as compared to their money? I believe it's because for those that don't, they simply value their money more than time. You see, success leaves clues. People who achieve more and are fulfilled tend to budget and pay attention to their time. Jim Rohn says, either you run the day or the day runs you. Robert Orban says, time flies. It's up to you to be the navigator. And contrary to many people's thinking, having a budget doesn't and shouldn't limit you. It actually assists you focus and free up precious time for yourself. Benjamin Franklin says, for every minute spent in organizing, an hour is earned. This is why I avoid going through my day without planning it. As with our money, our time is finite. Busting our budget for a particular project or task means we've got less time available for another. Now, would you like to get a sense for how I budget time? Here's how I do it. I first had to figure out over seasons of my life what's most important to me. One doesn't need to overthink this. It's what one demonstrates daily with how they use their time and money. For me, it's my family, daily feeding, and my mission of assisting people lead compelling lives. When it comes to my family, most of my evenings and weekends are blocked off for them, such as having dinner with my grandma and family every Sunday evening. Feeding is a daily priority for me. As for my mission, it's not just my work, it's my lifestyle. So on a daily basis, I'm either creating content and or engaging people. The current tools I use for organizing my life are my physical journal, text edit on my MacBook Pro, and Google Calendar. Each Sunday afternoon after my morning church service, I plan out my top 3 priorities for the coming week, have an overview as to what's upcoming, and also have a pretty good idea of what I'll be focusing on each day of the week. At the end of each day, I map out in as much detail, hour by hour, how I will be conducting my next day. This ensures there's consistent progress with my life's mission and everything else that's important to me, such as my family and daily feeding, as said earlier. Now, ultimately, you'll have to experiment and see what works and doesn't work for you. Your result is your guru. Not doing the above for me will jeopardize my life's productivity and fulfillment levels. Now, can you see why not having time constraints will cost you? I trust that you do. Going forward, would you like to accomplish even more in your life? If so, here's your simple illuminating exercise to kickstart and do now. Number 1, figure out your life's purpose, mission, vision, and values. Again, number 1, let's figure out your life's purpose, mission, vision, and values. Number 2, get clear on what should your current focus and priorities be on. Number 2, get clear on what should your current focus and priorities be on. Number 3, find out how much sleep you actually need. Right? Find out how much sleep you actually need and take no more than that. Okay, so that's number 3. Number 4, start mapping out with a monthly or weekly calendar what you need to get done on an hourly basis. So again, number 4, start mapping out with a monthly or weekly calendar what you need to get done on an hourly basis. Bear in mind, we all have 168 hours per week, 24 hours a day. That's the terrain, so that's what we work with. So start tracking how much time you actually use towards each activity per day, such as sleeping, eating, etc. Now, the perennial problem is people have a tendency and inclination towards over-allocating time for a particular project, task, or activity. So to manage and curb that, limit the time you give to each task. Our activities expand to fill the time allocated. So a good general tip is to halve the time you initially allocated for it until you have a pretty good grasp on how much time you need for each activity. Now, please don't apply this towards your sleep though. A quick example I'll share from someone I assisted. Instead of taking 4 to 6 weeks as initially imagined to complete his project, I got him to complete it in just 2 weeks. So do start allowing the magic of time budgets to happen in your life. If you'd like me to personally assist you in budgeting your time to accomplish so much more and have a more compelling life, reach out at calvinchan.org now. Again, reach out at calvinchan.org now. Cheers. Hey, thank you for listening. Do take a moment now and like this episode, leave a comment, and also subscribe to not miss out on new episodes. Once done, check out your next episode. Want to connect? Do so at calvinchan.org and also on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Stay well and talk soon.